All right, so I just finished up my trading session for the day. As you can see, I ended up making around $276 in 16 of my PA Apex accounts. So in total, made just under $4,500 in profit today. Now, what's different about today is I did not follow my normal trend pullback strategy. My trend pullback strategy was working very good in the months of June and July, where we had much more consistency in the market conditions. We're either trending up or trending down consistently. Lately, we've been very choppy, volatile but choppy. I haven't gotten as many setups using that strategy the past couple weeks or so. So what I've been doing is I've been working on another strategy for when the market is more choppy and there's no clear trend. Okay, so my normal rule, I'll go over to a 4-hour time frame and I'm going to start scanning everything. Mainly what I'm doing is I want to look at the pre-market candles and then the bigger time frame structure. Okay, gold today had consistent green candles and then one big red candle we sold off pretty much all the way. To me, wasn't much of a clear trend that I wanted to follow. So again, what I want to see is I want to see consistent green candles, and then I want to look for long setups because there's clearly an uptrend. Keep in mind, these are Heikin-Ashi candles. Okay, one thing we did notice was oil opened up with consistent green candles. So oil was one thing that was trending today and I was watching, but it had news and the trend kind of changed and there's no setups. Okay, so that was just kind of unfortunate. And then we have natural gas. This also had a solid trend in pre-market, consistent green candles, but by the time we got our setup, we're in a supply zone. So I didn't want to take this long in a supply zone because obviously the trend was up. I wanted to focus on longs. Again, I didn't want to go long inside a supply zone. So basically there was no setups for my trend pullback strategy. Everything else was choppy during pre-market. We can see ES. This is kind of what I don't want to see. Very sideways, indecisive, choppy candles, no clear trend, which means our trend pullback strategy is not going to work as well. So therefore, I want to avoid trading it. So now you guys are probably wondering, well, Chad, what is your new strategy you're working on when you don't get any of your trend pullback setups? And keep in mind, this is just something I'm testing. I'm not fully recommending this. This is something I'm just trying out for when it's more choppy and we don't get any other setups, okay? I did backtest this over the past month and a half. That's all the data I had to work with, and it seems to work pretty well. So let me go ahead and show you what this strategy looks like. Okay, so what the strategy is I'm using a tool to help me determine where the trend can be going. This is a tool called Quantico Cap. And what this tool is really good at is giving you a trading plan of what levels to look for. If we hit a certain level, then we're probably going to go up to these next levels as well. Okay, so for example, what I traded today was NASDAQ. Now, what we'll see here on NASDAQ is basically, when it opens, it'll give you these levels to look for. And it also gives you it on a piece of paper. If you press this right here, gives you like a trading plan. Okay, so if we just go down over to the NASDAQ trading plan, it gives you these levels and it says basically, once we get above 18,890, this is where I would start looking for longs, okay? Once it gets there, then we have bull target number 1, 18,930, bull target number 2, 18,950, bull target number 3, 19,000. So when it's harder for me to read the trend, I'm kind of just relying on this tool more to help me rely on the trend. I'm still pretty much trading my same strategy as far as like looking for confirmations, looking for pullbacks. This just helps me gauge the trend better when the pre-market's all weird, okay? So that's kind of how I'm using this. I'm pretty much using my same strategy. As you can see, when we first opened up, we got into the bear target range. So you can see I hit the bear trigger here. This is where you start looking for shorts. Kind of hard to see. I'll move my mouse. As you can see, we pretty much just sold straight off. They do have signals that tell you exactly where to buy and sell. I personally don't like using signals. I like to trade my own stuff. But I use this as a guideline of where we could get to. If we get below this level, okay, we have these different targets. As you can see, usually there's 3 targets. It hit that last target, actually went a little bit below it, and then started to reverse, right? And then again, this is why I don't like to trade when the pre-market's so choppy, is because typically this is what it'll look like. We'll go down a bunch, we'll go up a bunch, and it's harder for me to read it. And it's a little bit harder for me to trade it. So that's why, when we have a very choppy pre-market, I'm kind of just relying on these levels more. Again, I back tested it. Seems to be pretty accurate. And what we did here is, I missed all these trades because we sold off very fast. There wasn't really any pullbacks I can get in on. If we go back to the actual chart, once we pretty much broke this is where like the bear trigger was. As you can see, we pretty much just sold straight off. There wasn't really any pullbacks for me to get in on, maybe other than like this, but it was a very small. Other than this, but this time we already hit the third target, right? So as soon as this sold off, we already hit the third target, so it's lower quality to start looking for shorts more. Okay, so this was at 18,650. If we go back to Quantico, you can see the target was 18,709. That was the third target. Once we kind of hit it, we're probably done selling off. We can obviously sell off more, but that's like, it's a lower probability basically. Now, so what I did instead is I waited until we got into the bull trigger, okay, which was 18,890. Once it got above there, it told me I can start looking for long setups to take to these bull target 1, bull target 2, bull target 3, and then the max of the day, which we're starting to hit right now. Okay, so if we go back here, basically, wait, what was this level called? This is 18,890. So once we got above 18,890, let me go back. Once we got above 18,890, which is basically this opening resistance, this is where we could start looking to go long. So me personally, I didn't want to go long until we got above this level. So I am using some of my own trading experience. I'm not just kind of following this tool. I'm just using it as like a guideline, a map of where we could get to. So I wanted to get above this level first, which was 18,930. Once we got above it right here, as you can see, we have this very small pullback. Didn't have much volume, but a pullback to this old resistance. And I kind of saw that as a nice little entry point for me to get in on. Okay, so this was on this pullback at 950. Basically, we got above here. Okay, we got to the second bull target, and basically we pulled back to the second bull target. So once we get above these different targets, they usually end up acting as support or resistance, in this case support. So once I saw this reversal candle, I literally just hopped in right here. I hopped in at like 65, and I just rode this to the third target, okay, which is up at 1900. Just above high day. So that was my trade. Very simple. Again, I'm just trading with the direction of what this is telling me. I'm getting in on the pullbacks. Ideally, I like to see reversal candles, and then I'm also using my normal confirmations. Okay, so if I go back to Heikinashi, what we can see here is we got this small pullback, this reversal candle. And I basically entered right here when we got our first bullish Heikinashi candle. And again, I just rode this up to the third target, which is that 1900 area. Gave me around a 2-to-1 risk reward ratio. Obviously, we kept pumping up, but overall, I was happy with that trade. And that's how I ended up making this 276 and 16 on my PA Apex account. So overall, again, I'm going to keep testing this new strategy to see how it will. So overall, again, I'm going to keep testing this new tool. The guy who made this tool I actually know personally. He was an old boss of mine. I used to work for his marketing business. He had a huge marketing company that he sold, and he went all into trading. So that's how I found it, if you guys are wondering. But again, this is what I'm going to be testing out when the pre-market sucks. Okay, when the pre-market looks good, then absolutely I'm going to be trading my trend pullback strategy because it works flawlessly. It works very good. July, I had a 96% win rate. So again, when the market's super choppy in pre-market, I'm just going to use this to kind of guide me with the levels and where we could get to. And I'm still going to be looking for my same confirmation. I'm going to be looking for a little pullback. I'm going to be looking for Heikinashi candles. I'm just going to be a little less picky with my confirmations and kind of just trying to trade these levels. So anyways, guys, if you guys do want to check out this Quantico tool, I do have a link for you. It'll be the first link in the description below. It does cost money. They don't have any free trials or any coupon codes maybe in the future, but it does cost $200 per month. So if you guys don't want to pay that, stick to the trend pullback strategy, just making sure only using it when we have consistent green pre-market 4-hour Heikinashi candles. If you guys want something else to trade when we don't have those consistent pre-market candles, then maybe check out this tool and sign up for it. Test it out for yourself. Again, that'll be the first link in the description below this video. Anyways, guys, if you have any questions for me, feel free to let me know in the comments below. And hopefully tomorrow we'll get some more consistent action. Since CPI data is done, we should get some more consistent trends going on. So I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow morning. I will be trading live. So I'll see you guys then on our live session.